Ladies and gentlemen, back up in the building for another podcast. This time, this is 130, episode 130 of the Just Facts podcast. Back up in here for 2025. This is the first episode. First, we're going to be looking at Carlos Miller almost getting canceled by the internet for disrespecting Martin Luther King Jr. Just small little brief rundown. Obviously, if you don't know, Sexy Red did something to offend Martin Luther King, so much so that Martin Luther King's daughter, Dr. Bernice King, had to tell her about herself. So without further ado, we're going to be looking at Chig Smooth's video. Let's get into it. Let's see what it's about.
YouTube, Chigs. Get ready. You know what to do, Chigs.
Look at Chig Smooth.
Hey, Chig Smooth, appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Carlos Miller, bring your ass here, boy. You comedians are getting way too disrespectful these days. I keep telling you guys, man, eventually we're going to have a very uncomfortable conversation about comedians that use their comedian badge to get off some nasty shit. I don't care how great
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably why the art of comedy is just like dying, because people want to just call out everything. Like, damn, like comedy can't even be comedy anymore. Like now that like the public is just regulating it as much as possible, like it's just like getting closer and closer to an edge. Whereas like you can't even be a comedian anymore. I mean, I don't know if that's the same logic you can use in this case, but just in general, comedy has really been diminished and like watered down as much as possible.
Of a comedian you are, sometimes certain things just are not funny. Now, a couple days ago, January 20th was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Now, it's a federal holiday that's supposed to honor the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., who was assassinated in 1968. A day where you're supposed to sit back, reflect, and be grateful for a man that basically sacrificed his life for you. But you know what my people were doing on January 20th? They were too busy on Twitter making AI photos of MLK Jr. Sexy Red.
I saw this picture, and my first initial thought of this picture, I didn't think it was like, I actually thought it was, this is going to sound crazy, but I actually thought this was like innocent, harmless. I don't think this was like supposed to be made out to be as offensive. I mean, there are people who have done way worse with MLK with AI. So it's like, I feel like this was just a little bit harmless, just a little bit harmless. I don't think this was like all, for all intents and purposes, that disrespectful. It was, in a way, it was disrespectful if you look at it from the family standpoint.
Red posted this AI picture of her and MLK Jr. on Twitter, and she was quickly reprimanded by MLK Jr.'s daughter, Bernice King. Dr. Bernice King told Sexy Red immediately, "This is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful to my family and my father, who is not here to respond himself because he was assassinated for working for your civil
let alone her mother,
and to end war and poverty. Please delete." Now, Sexy Red immediately complied. She knew she was way out of pocket. She said, "You went wrong. Never meant to disrespect your family. My apologies. Just reposted something I saw that I thought was innocent." Bernice King says, "Thank you for your apology, which I sincerely accept. Please know that it was not my intention that you be denigrated. I value you."
She didn't even want to like embarrass her like that. Wow. She just wanted to like set the record straight that she didn't really like the picture that she posted. That's commendable, on both sides, because it's like Sexy Red is young, so she don't really. I'm thinking in my mind as logically for like the young people, they don't really understand like the importance of our history and how important it is to preserve our history. As good as AI is, it can be very dangerous. I don't think I don't think a lot of the young people understand that. Just as far as like, if somebody was to like, let's just say like, I don't know, a rapper decided to go ahead and take Malcolm X and make like an AI of him in a strip club. That would be completely disrespectful. No innocence in that at all. Versus, this picture here where, Martin Luther King is just like dancing. It looks like Dancing with Sexy Red. Still innocent in my opinion, but still on, Dr. Bernice King's side, I see, how she feels about that, preserving and honoring, continuing to honor the legacy of Martin Luther King is something I feel like, should be, you should, she did the right thing by calling that out.
As a human being, I hope you understand my concerns about the image. I know that my father has become a bit of a caricature to the world, and that his image is often used with no regard to his family, his sacrificial work, or to the tragic, unjust way in which he died, a state-sanctioned assassination. Unfortunately, I regularly challenge the disregard. I earnestly wish people would imagine what it would feel like to see their deceased murdered father repurposed for party flyers and unjust legislation. All the best to you, young lady. Now you guys can.
That was respect. I ain't gonna lie. That's commendable.
Come on Twitter just to correct somebody like Sexy Red.
She didn't want to embarrass her or nothing like that. She just thought it was wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I completely respect how Dr. Bernice came at Sexy Red, and I even commend Sexy Red more for being like, you know what? She could have been like all the other ignorant rappers and just said, get into a shouting match or, or try to like persuade a back and forth or something like that. But she was like, no, I was wrong. I'm sorry. All it is accountability and just apologize. That's it. It don't got to be nothing extra.
Not a random person on Twitter, an artist, a big artist like Sexy Red, saying, hey, take that picture down, Sexy Red. That is very disrespectful to my family. You have millions of followers on Twitter that are gonna think this is cool. I don't like it. We don't like it. And I'll give Sexy Red props. There wasn't no argument. She wasn't trying to justify her posting that picture. She knew she was dead wrong and she apologized. But here goes comedian Carlos Miller that thinks he's hilarious. And by the way, Carlos Miller is actually funny. But there was nothing funny about this situation, Carlos. Carlos Miller saw the interaction between Sexy Red and Bernice King. He goes to his AI app and quickly makes an AI picture of him and MLK Jr. He then goes on Twitter to post it to his followers saying, hey guys, don't...
Carlos, why? Why'd you do this? Why did you do it? And then the picture doesn't even look right. The picture don't even look right. It doesn't look like a good AI picture. Why was this needed? Why did you need to do this? I don't understand. I guess maybe to deflect the attention from them and then put it on you. That's crazy. That is crazy. Don't look good on you.
Don't let Bernice see this one.
Brother, this guy stinks.
Just why, Carlos? Brother, you just saw the lady reprimand Sexy Red.
Exactly.
What is funny about pissing her off? Now, immediately after posting this picture on Twitter, everybody started flaming Carlos. Somebody said Carlos is 41 from Mississippi. If anybody knows better, he knew better. It wasn't funny.
And people on Twitter X, they do not care. They go, oh my good man, I can only imagine. Chiggs probably picked the lighter insults against Carlos Miller. I'm sure there are way worse insults are on X, because when people go in on celebrities, they go in. People on X don't care.
It was lame. Martin Luther King Jr. shouldn't be disrespected, and everybody knows people do not like their parents played with, dead or alive.
That's
Some
a fact.
things are unnecessary.
That is a fact. And then the person at the bottom right here says he's moved on to his all attention is good attention phase of being irrelevant, and that's the most dangerous for a struggling loser. Jeez. Christ.
Somebody else tweeted Carlos saying, yo, somebody find this nigga grandma picture expeditiously.
Oh, wow.
Now, Carlos did end up deleting the pictures, but it was too late. The damage was done already. Hey, comedians on...
That's crazy. And then he said, my grandma ain't got no pictures. She thought pictures took your soul. Some country ass Mississippi-ish. You wouldn't understand.
social media. Sometimes it's okay to stay the
Apparently
fuck
he
away
doesn't
from a
understand
topic.
the mistake he made.
You do not have to interject into every single trending topic. There would never be anything funny about trying to piss off or annoy a 61-year-old lady
or
on
even
social
put
media,
attention on yourself
especially
after
coming
all
off
of that
MLK
happening.
Junior holiday. You guys get in the comments below what do you guys think about Carlos Miller's post. Did everybody just miss the joke that Carlos Miller was trying to portray with the picture? Or do you guys think people are...
I don't think he I think that was one opportunity he should have just left alone. Should have just left that one alone. Just let whatever happened with Sexy Red and Dr. Bernice King just simmer and slowly, and tomorrow you can make a joke about something else. But to take that opportunity to just like try to do the same thing Sexy Red just basically got told about, and thinking, I guess maybe he thought that was funny. Bad comedic timing. That's number one. And you shouldn't have did it at all, honestly. Shouldn't have did it at all. But I mean, hey, you live and you learn, right? Moving on from that, we are going to be looking at so a healthcare worker facing backlash for dancing on a disabled patient's head. Let's look at this video real quick. She's also responding to the backlash she's facing.
Right now, it's a video that's going viral of me, the healthcare worker that's dancing on top of her patient's head.
That's crazy.
Trust and believe. All I gotta say for now is angles play a big part, but we're gonna get into that another.
Did she just say it's not what it is? You're dancing on a disabled person's head. Am I missing something? Or is that not you in the video? Hold on, let me go back. Let me play this again. Maybe I'm losing my mind here.
Right now, it's a video that's going viral of me, the healthcare worker that's dancing on top of her patient's head. It's not what it is. Trust.
So that's not you in the video? I'm confused. It looked like you in the video. That heat coming, ain't it?
All I gotta say for now is angles play a big part, but we're gonna get into that another time. Okay? A lot of people in the comments talking about sex, just all type of dumb, non-verbal. Trust and believe, he's verbal, and if he's not verbal to his kins, then I don't know what's going on over there.
She about to get fired. It's unfortunate that I gotta say that, but yeah, you're about to get fired. First of all, I'm just gonna put it out there. I used to do this type of work. I used to do. I was a direct support person, and the first thing they make you sign is HIPAA. If you don't for all my healthcare workers out there, HIPAA is like basically a thing that says like you're not going to be, when you're working with like people with disabilities, mental disabilities, whatever, you're not going to be recording them or doing anything that like breaches on their rights, basically. If you do that, you're going to get fired, and maybe even more legal action will be involved. That's basically what HIPAA is. That's the simple version of what HIPAA is. She signed I'm sure she signed something that had to do with letting her know and making her understand that, hey, you have to follow the HIPAA guidelines. Know that before you start this job. You cannot be recording a person with disabilities, a person with mental disabilities that you're taking care of, whatever. Somebody that you have to take care of, you cannot be recording them. You cannot be putting them on the internet. Nothing like that. Because at the end of the day, these people that are being taken care of by nurses, these patients, these by direct care people, by nurses, whatever, they have families at the end of the day. And some of these people with families are on the internet. They're on social media. So this video right here is not good in your favor, because now there's evidence that says, hey, you recorded a patient when we told you, hey, do not record patients. And you signed an agreement and everything. So now your job is in jeopardy because of this. What else did she say? What else did she say?
But around here, he be verbal. And I got proof. What you say? Can I get my hug? You want to get a hug? Yeah. Okay.
Illegal. This is illegal.
He looks very
completely illegal.
So y'all need to stop jumping to conclusions.
Completely illegal. That is illegal. And you, like, seriously, your job is about to be in jeopardy because you're recording. Like, do you not understand HIPAA? Do you not understand that that is a breach of that individual, that patient's rights? I hope you get it and understand it, because your job is about to be in jeopardy, unfortunately. Okay, so in this next clip, we have, it says that we have saved free speech in America. President Donald Trump says he has signed an executive order to stop government censorship. Let's see what this is going about.
In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly.
Okay, so I want to discuss this. I do want to try to understand when he says that free speech is, we have saved free speech in America. We have to define what saving free speech is and what is hate speech, because everything that is about to become free speech can also be classified as hate speech. I mean, let's be honest. I believe that people should have free speech. Of course, free speech has been like watered down and minimalized in these times, in these modern times. But like I said, we have to figure out what is hate speech, and we have to figure out what is free speech. What is free speech? What is informational? What is a free thought that is not to be catered to the hating of one group versus there being a narrative of, okay, I'm going to just release this, which is actually hate speech, and then try to say that, oh yeah, this is free speech right here. No. I think we need to figure out what that is. I mean, I personally like the fact that free speech is back. I don't think it ever left. I just think that it's one of those things that needs to be defined. in this time and age, everything is so sensitive. Everything is so like suppressed. You know, if only things that were important and informational could be said. Also, there's a lot of gatekeeping. You know, there's a lot of gatekeeping of information that I think needs to be unhanded. I think there's a lot of information that needs to be released so that, you know, people who want to excel in certain mediums can be able to know these things. If people in higher positions continue to be able to suppress and hold on to information, the rest of the public is never going to be able to consume information to be able to progress in this ever supreme life that we're in. And that's something I feel like can happen now that we have free speech. Who's to say it wasn't able to happen before? But I feel like now we're back. We're back to having a free speech, but I just pray that it's that type of thing where it's not abused and turned into like, oh, just because I have free speech, that means I can, you know, release and spew just rhetoric that is not right for the public, not right for the babies, you know, because the babies gotta grow up and take over this country one day. So how is that to happen if negative speech is just spewed everywhere, especially on online, like online on social media? How can our babies grow up and, you know, take over this country and run this country one day if they all have negative hate speech up here? Moving on, when I tell you these celebrities are coming out in rare form now that DT is in White House now, bro, like coming out in rare form. So in the video I'm going to be looking at from Chick Smooth, shout out to Chick Smooth once again, Boosie crashes out over fans' backlash from begging Trump to pardon him over his Fed case. Now, if you guys don't remember, Boosie, I believe, had a Fed case in which he was taken to jail over him having, I believe it's a pew-pew. He had like there's a video of him on I believe he was on like a live, and he had like he had a pew-pew, and he wasn't supposed to have it. So somehow it got into the hands of the feds. They got him, and he was in jail. And I believe after that he was able to get out of jail, of course. But, you know, of course, the case was still is ongoing. So that's just to bring you up to speed. But now it says that he's begging Trump. So let's just see what Chiggs is talking about.
YouTube, Chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, Chicks.
Look at Chick Smooth. Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Hey, you guys, please leave Boosie alone, man. Let that boy beg Trump to get his situation right. Oh, man, listen, I told you guys yesterday, this is only the beginning. You guys are going to see a lot of your favorite rappers doing something strange for a piece of change or a favor. Now, a couple days ago, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soulja Boy, and Rick Ross were all called out for performing at Trump's inauguration ball. Some of these rappers came out to admit, yeah, I did it for the money. I did it for the bag. You guys do not pay my goddamn bills, so let me go out here and get my money from wherever. Today, we have Boosie begging Trump to be pardoned. Back in June 2020.
And to be honest, no celebrity has any right to explain anything to any fans, because at the end of the day, there are still people in the black community who have mad respect for Donald Trump, especially our entertainers. It don't have to be rappers. It could be singers. It could be an actor or actress, somebody in basketball, football. They all got respect for Donald Trump. I mean, what can you do? Rich man, he's a billionaire from New York who has always been looked at as like one of those popular figures. Doesn't matter what industry you're in the entertainment industry, they all have a liking to him. So I mean, I get it. You know, it's nothing to be mad about. I mean, these people have allegiances to him. So
23, Boosie was detained in San Diego after cops discovered weapons in the car he was riding in. Boosie was eventually charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, luckily for Boosie, he actually got that charge against him dismissed. But then fast forward to last year, July 2024, Boosie was hit with an indictment for a second time on the federal gun charges. This was all after law enforcement uncovered new evidence that was dismissed in his San Diego case.
Oh, wow.
So that's currently an active case that Boosie.
Okay, so it's an active case.
After
Okay.
seeing Trump pardon so many people over the last couple of days, Boosie took to Twitter to shoot his shot.
And he ain't do nothing. He pardoned all the people from January 6th and the guy who has like that website who started that website on the dark web or something like that. He pardoned a lot of people. It's crazy. It's crazy to say. Freed a lot of people from the January 6th riots.
And see if Trump was going to pardon him. Boosie tweeted saying, "Trump, check my case out. My case was dismissed, but Biden's DOJ recharged me with the same gun charge Biden pardoned his son.
Wow.
I was told I am the only person in the country facing that charge now. President Trump, I already was given a 10-year sentence in states in 2009 for third offense marijuana. I was never even offered rehab, straight to prison. And Trump, I'm Boosie. I'm a rapper and filmmaker from Baton Rouge. I was targeted. My mouth and things I stand on get me in a lot of shit, but I'm real. My lawyer, Megan Blanco, can explain the case. She knew the charges against you were so bad, even she..."
Here's my thing about this. Why would you do this on social media? Why don't you just like find a way to like maybe, I don't know, DM him or reach out to somebody on his team? Like, doing this publicly makes you look a certain way, you know, and I can see why anybody would like criticize him. Like, man, now Boosie looks like an Uncle Tom or something like that to people after seeing this. Like, I can understand somebody who's a big fan of Boosie saying like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you sitting on here begging Donald Trump to pardon you? Like, there's a better way to have done this, for real.
Spoke about it on radio. Now, after Boosie got some backlash from certain people on social media, some people said, "I swear, y'all black men going outside." Someone else said, Boosie stops at D-list rappers. You don't meet the requirements.
He's saying, "Hey, Massa, pick me." Dang.
Massa to take the chains off is wild. This is where Boosie loses it after not getting the response he was hoping for. He said, "Damn, I know so many people don't want me to be pardoned. This social media world would rather see you fall than be great. And not just with me, with any famous person. You better know that as soon as you get into some shit, they gonna kick you way harder when you down than they lifted you up when you was up. We gotta stay out of trouble. People want you in prison and away from your kids. It's funny to them because they have never been." And then,
see, here's my problem. Like, here's my thing about this. Like I said, like, you did it wrong. You did this publicly. You could have went in his DMs. You could have asked Kodak Black, something. You could have asked one of the rappers who have been in Donald Trump's presence, like, hey, how do I reach out to Donald Trump? How do I like get in contact with him? Some way, somehow you could have did it like that instead of like doing this, because this is embarrassing. And now you saying like, "Oh, I didn't know so many people didn't want me to be pardoned." Bro, people look at you like a real nigga, bro. You survived. You dodged like doing like real time for a murder case, only to turn around and do this. It makes you look crazy, like my dog. It makes you look so crazy. It makes you look so crazy. It really makes you look like a spoon. Replace the S and the P and put the C. It really makes you look like that.
Boosie says fuck it and crashes out. He said, and one more thing. Y'all saying I shouldn't ask for a pardon?
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna keep asking. This is my life. I already asked Biden for 1 month ago. Now I'm asking Trump. Where I'm from, closed mouths don't get fed. My case was already dismissed. I deserve a pardon. Hashtag argue
the way he's
with your
talking.
mama.
Now, funny enough, this is not the first time Boosie has asked Trump for a pardon. Back in November 2024, when Trump won the presidency, Boosie tweeted him and asked him, yo, can you pardon me on my Fed case?
Oh, okay. This wasn't the first time.
Felon. Now, listen, I don't blame Boosie for asking Trump to be pardoned for his
He just
case.
didn't ask the right way.
Remember a couple years back, Trump actually pardoned Kodak Black on his case. Now, maybe Trump was trying to
pardon Lil Wayne too
when he pardoned Kodak Black. Regardless of the intent, he still pardoned the rapper.
And he brought A$AP Rocky back from Sweden.
More than social media. This is about your life and your family. So whoever you got to reach out to make it happen, hey, listen, man, I'm not going to judge him for it. Now, I definitely don't want to see Boosie up on stage performing at a Trump event, especially after you criticized Trump in the past. But if you're able to use your celebrity status
it's
to
definitely
get
coming.
Out of trouble and not have to end up
he's going to be up there. Boosie's going to be performing for Trump. It's coming. Or he's going to be at the White House, I'm sure, at some point, at some time. It might not be this year. It might not be this year. It might be next year. It might be the year after. It's somewhere in his presidency. Boosie's going to be there.
Back in prison, then hey, who are we to judge Boosie? You guys get in the comments below. Do you guys think Boosie is selling out by reaching out to Trump to get a... I
mean, forget about whether he's selling out or not. You just didn't ask the right way. I feel like, I mean, it's a serious thing. It's a serious case. I feel like it's his business to ask what he want to ask, but I feel like he just should have did that in private. It's not something for the internet, especially the way that a lot of like people look at you as far as like being somebody who's a real nigga. I mean, on one end, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, go ask him, see what happens. On the other end, I'm just like, well, as far as like your public image and how you look, I mean, that's everything. And, you know, Boosie is on social media 24/7, almost all the time. So it's like, you should care how people feel and how they value you as a person and as an artist and as a performer. Or, you know, there are people who look up to you. So you should be thinking about that as far as like having dealings with Donald Trump. That's how I feel about it. So wrestler Kurt Angle, reacts to being called Perk Angle. Of course, you know, that's a nickname that he has been called by the internet for like a long time. And I'm pretty sure, you know, back when he was in TNA doing what he did, you know, went on that legendary run that he did when he was with TNA. Saying here that like he's reacting to being called Perk Angle. And this is on the Chris Van Vliet channel. Let's just see what's up with it.
Fans seem to like to blame it on the painkillers. You know the nickname, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think of the nickname?
You know what? I know that fans, you know, it's almost like they want me to feel good about it. Like you know, it's the fans are having fun with it.
Yeah.
Because I was the best wrestler in the business.
Absolutely.
So, you know, they want to say that, you know, Kurt Angle was Perk Angle. That's why he was doing it, because he was all perked up. The thing is, I didn't use painkillers while I was wrestling. I did them in the morning. And then at night I would wrestle, and then I did painkillers after I got done wrestling. So I never wrestled high.
Were you in a lot of pain when you were wrestling?
That is so professional. I was here thinking the whole time, up until he just said that every time he wrestled, he was on a perk, which is crazy. I mean, but I don't know. Sometimes like it's just like when he went viral for like that, his face, and people started using his face as a meme and everything like that. He thought people were being mean. Like, no, you literally, your face is like a memeable face. And now like the whole entire internet is using your face because you're Kurt Angle. You won a gold medal with a broken neck, you know, so people respect you more than you even think they respect you. So I think that's the thing that he needs to realize about the internet. These young kids love you. We all love you. You know, you did something for a lot of people during their childhood. You know, in ways you kind of raised a lot of people when they were younger. They didn't, you know, they did. Some of them didn't have fathers or mother, or they were raised by grandma or something like that. And grandma liked watching wrestling, or dad liked watching wrestling. And, you know, a lot of people's dads or moms or grandmas passed away, and some of those people's folks probably liked watching you, and you were probably their favorite wrestler. So, I mean, Kurt Angle is really somebody that doesn't know that he's like well respected in like not just inside the wrestling community, but outside the wrestling community too. It's like, this is like the same thing with Jeff Hardy, you know? He was, you know, he had them demons, you know, Kurt Angle had demons too, but like, we still look at him I still look at him as one of the greatest. I know a lot of other people still look at him as one of the greatest, regardless of whether he was on perks, painkillers, whatever you want to call it. You know, he set a foundation in TNA.
Yeah, I was in a lot of pain. You know, I got introduced to painkillers in 2003 after I broke my neck the second time. And not only did they mask the pain, but for me, they made me feel really good. I mean, I knew I liked it. Like I was like drawn to it. Like, wow, this makes me feel energetic, you know? And so I know that's kind of the euphoric feeling you get with that, but I loved it. And I knew right away that I'm going to have a problem with these.
People seem to have this misconception that that's why you wrestled so well in TNA.
No, listen, you can't wrestle messed up. It's going to be sloppy. You've seen people in the past that have wrestled
professional.
They, you know, people are like,
I respect him even more for saying that.
So you can't do that. It's almost impossible, especially to have a good match. You have to be sober, or you're not going to have a good match.
What have you done to repair your reputation? Like you said, you wanted to go back to WWE in 2016.
Yeah, they didn't want me
because of your reputation. Mm-hmm. But look at you now. Nobody thinks about Kurt Angle in that light anymore.
Well, I stay clean for 14 years. You know, time always helps. You know, when you're not in trouble and you're out of the you know, the eye of you know, going against the law, and you show that you got your shit together.
Yeah,
people start to forget it.
Yeah,
you know, the only time they remember it is when they say, "Hey, remember Kurt Angle?" So you know, that's one of the things that, you know, I still have to deal with. But I understand that, you know, for the fans, it's more of a term of endearment. You know, how great was Kurt Angle?
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So I know they're not saying it to try to hurt my feelings. I mean, even though
But does it hurt your feelings?
Yeah. But I know they don't mean it.
Come on, man.
And for that, I'm okay.
They call you Perk Angle because that era is just so significant with what you did for, like, not just during your exit of WWE, but like you're entering into TNA and just being able to go through TNA, even with your problems going on with the painkillers and, you know, your wife and Jeff Jarrett and all of that. You were so professional during that time period, and you created so many memories in that company of TNA that, like, it's almost unforgettable. TNA cannot mention history without mentioning you. Up until now, for real. And that's what I think is so great about Kurt Angle and Perk Perk Angle, that whole entire era. And not just your Attitude Era, but your TNA era.
Okay with, if they say it, I don't want them to say it to my face, but it is what it is.
Does it hurt your feelings because it reminds you of a time you don't want to remember?
It's a time where I was in a dark situation in my life, and that is the part I don't want to remember.
Okay, I understand that.
All the trouble I got into, the divorce I had, and
I get that.
And just a lot of things that were going on in my life that I don't want to remember anymore.
That's interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, like I said, I think I think just in general, like that's like a peak era of Kurt Angle. And I think like it's not meant to be disrespectful. It's just like when Jordan came back and he wore the number 45, there's probably an era in there. That's probably an era for some people when he came back and he wore the number 45 where they say like, nah, Jordan wearing number 45 was different. And that's how I feel about Kurt Angle when he was in that Perk Angle era. It's crazy. Stephen Baldwin has been speaking in a way to where he has been advocating for the public to understand that Hollywood is evil. The entertainment industry is evil. Movie and television is evil. I'm going to be taking a look at a clip from Valuetainment with Patrick Bet David. And he sat down with Stephen Baldwin. And Stephen Baldwin is basically exposing the industry, the entertainment industry. So let's get into it.
And you have so much chaos in your life. Some kids become comedians because it's like the therapy to not have to deal with the shit that's going on in your life. For me, it was movies. Right. Like if I wanted to be relaxing, my therapy was going to a movie theater with nobody, sit in the back in the morning, 10 o'clock matinee type of a deal. And you're sitting watching movies with 80-year-olds. Right. And those became your best friends sometimes. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Okay, can I get you some pop? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna sit over. And then you watch a movie, you're just like, oh, such therapy, right? You watch some of these movies. But yeah, it was always exciting for me. By the way, Hollywood for you. You guys have been in this space for a while. Highest level. All of you, I would say everyone's done something that's been at the highest level. Right. How much has Hollywood changed for you from then to now?
I'll answer that in a second because I just want to compliment you because what you just described about yourself is you're a storyteller. You love movie. Your natural organic instinct is movies. Why have movies impacted you so much? Because you're a storyteller. You're a creative. You hang out with your kids. You read books. You tell them stories. You play sports. You engage them with the heart stuff because the finance isn't first in your heart. You're a creative that God's using in this way.
Loving the art.
What's fascinating is down the road, you should make a plan to let that creation out because now God's put you in a position to do it for yourself.
Well,
he's cooking.
When you flying back tonight?
He's cooking right now.
Okay, because I'm going to show you something right afterwards. Maybe I'll take you with me right afterwards, and I'll show you what I just bought. Because we're going to turn Fort Lauderdale into the Burbank of East Coast, and you'll see what we're doing with movies. We're going to be in movies for the rest of my life is what we're going to get into. We're going to produce, we're going to do storytelling.
Now, can I share something with you?
Yeah, please, go for it.
Hollywood is evil.
Tell me why.
No, just listen. I love you.
Has it always been or is it now?
Always.
Okay.
So that means in the spiritual aspect of it, which you pay attention to.
Sure.
All these guys are building studios now. De Niro, Wahlberg, everybody's on this tsunami wave of what's going to happen. What if the technology changes? What if I can do it right in this room? What if I can make a whole movie? The technology is developing faster than any movie theater can be made. We're only I feel like we're only like a good 10 years away from a movie studio being able to create a movie with just AI and not even needing actors or actresses or even directors or people to write the movie. Like, I feel like we're that close to that. Arnold Schwarzenegger right here on an app. I'm being an a-hole to make a point. I've learned it's changed so much. The most important thing is the storytelling. I just, on the flight over here, literally the flight you brought me on, I watched Jerry Maguire.
One of my all-time favorites.
They don't make them like that anymore, Patrick. Why? Patrick, why? Because Hollywood controls the content. What's Hollywood about now? Wait, because I did this on Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy said, you're wrong. Hollywood is not elitist. Hollywood does not have a small club that it feeds itself and they make Barbie and MCU and that's it. They want the money. The machine of Hollywood wants the money, not the art, not the quality film.
I think it's always been like that.
They don't want that. They used to.
I think it's always been like that.
Generations, those great directors, that decade of those stories is gone. Now, I worked with a kid a couple of years ago. He said to me, oh, I'm editing for you, Mr. Baldwin, but I didn't waste time editing it like normal. I'm editing it so it goes right into the Netflix model.
What does that mean?
That means there's a format to which your film must be submitted to Netflix.
It's a series.
So if you want to sell to Netflix, it can't be the format outside of that.
How different is it? Is it dramatically different?
No.
Okay.
But that's not the point. The kid's making art and telling a story as an editor, not thinking about the story.
Thinking about
He's
Netflix.
thinking about
Netflix and what they want.
The tail is wagging the dog. What's going to happen is the pendulum always swings back, my friend. So here comes Trump pretty soon. He's going to make certain corrections in America. And one of those things will be the hold that certain creatives have on the process of who gets picked, what stories go into big distribution, blah, blah. There's a hold on that. So the next time a guy like...
So you're telling me Trump is going to sign... Dang, that's crazy. So he's telling me that Trump is going to sign an executive order to make like movies and television go through a certain type of like regulation. By the way, it's crazy how he called like the free speech thing. I feel like he just called that out. And now the free speech thing is like back.
Comes along with a beautiful Jerry Maguire. They're going to go, where's Barbie? Why can't the kid who's the son of the guy playing Jerry Maguire hold a Barbie? Because, we have certain paid advertisements. And if they click on the Barbie...
Okay, I see what he's talking about.
Hollywood is going to die in the next 20 years because of that. It will. Because people don't care. They're already getting right to their phone what they want.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to be scary. I don't mean to be Nostradamus of Hollywood. I'm just simply saying what's always worked is great movies. And we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even if you think about the last 10 years.
Plus streaming is killing cable. Streaming is killing cable television. Streaming is killing the format of movies. The way movies and television is presented. Before you know it, people won't even need a TV anymore. You'll be watching television on a computer or a laptop. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are watching it from a laptop or a desktop anyway now. But pretty soon televisions won't be needed in the household. That's where we're getting to, It's crazy.
Have we produced last 10 years that's on the greatest of all time list?
Watch this. What have been the most profitable? The ones from 30 years ago. Godzilla. Look at all the remakes in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Look at all the MCU. Just Robert Downey Jr. now will go from being Iron Man to Mr. Dr. Doom. Isn't there somebody else that could play Dr. Doom, Patrick?
Of course there's somebody else.
But the system feeds itself. They will tell the MCU audience, Robert Downey Jr. is the best Dr. Doom.
They could have got Sterling Brown to be
instead of hey, what about this unknown actor in this great film that won the Audience Choice Awards at the Sundance Film Festival, and it reflects all the wonderful stuff we thought about Jerry Maguire. You know what Hollywood's going to say to that? Kill him. I'm being dark.
Who had, by the way, I looked at Jerry Maguire right now. 50 million made 273, right? Which is 5x. Over
it's
5x.
Nothing.
Yeah. 50 million.
It's a failure.
If they consider that.
They call that a flop. Yeah.
Most top gross: Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Avatar The Way of Water, Titanic, 97 made 2.264. Damn.
Let me ask you a question.
Star Wars 15, Avengers, Spider-Man, Inside Out, Jurassic World, Lion King top 10.
Let me ask you a
Yes,
question.
go for it.
You're a financial guy.
Yes.
See me? I'm not trying to be rude.
Art.
I like art.
Right.
I just love going to the movies, like you said. So let me ask you a question. Barbie.
He loves the game.
1.5 billion. Probably 2 by now. Maybe 2 billion by now. And we'll never really know the numbers, but I'm sure. That's Hollywood. So the girl who starred in it made 70 million from the film.
Margot Robbie made
70 million on her back end.
Goodness.
One movie, Pat. So you tell me that girl going forward is all about the Jerry Maguire, bro. She wants to do Shakespeare on Broadway next, right? I'm being an asshole.
And she's been in way better movies than Barbie.
Margot Robbie will never look at creating a character in art. And listen, I don't care what the comments are after this. Margot Robbie will never be the same after making $70 million for Barbie. She's never going to go back and try to be that.
I see what he means. He's like saying she's not gonna go and do like a Shakespearean movie or, you know, one of those biopics for an important woman in history. Like, she's not gonna go do that because she went and did like a simple movie like Barbie and she made $70 million. So she's gonna just like be it. He's basically going on about actors and actresses going and jumping into movies for the money more than just like, hey, is this even a good movie script? You know, is the movie telling a story that will be of interest to the public, is what he's getting at. And I love that this guy, you know, I love that he's so passionate about this.
Love of the art. What are you doing? You're just doing it for the money.
Well, this is the USA year. Limited
it's crazy
for the rest of the year. If you love America,
if he doesn't say it, nobody will. I mean, I remember a time where somebody like Shia LaBeouf used to talk like this. They shut him up real quickly. So now it's just like it's very few people. It's a select few people who will speak real and not be like wishy-washy with the words as far as like Hollywood goes, like Mel Gibson. You got Cat Williams. You know, you got a select handful of people who will speak about the entertainment industry in a way, you know, that they're not supposed to, because they want the public to know.